Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the next tutorial on duct tape stuff. Today we are going to be making a duct tape skateboard wallet, so let's not waste any time. The first step to making a skateboard wallet is to cut out two duct tape strips that are 5 1/4 inches long and stick them together just like this. That's your first thing. Alright, for your next step you're going to cut out two more 5 1/4 inch strips and you're going to get a ruler and take the strip that you just made and line up so that the top of the strip is with 0 inches on the ruler. Now you take another 5 1/4 inch strip right here and you're going to apply this and overlap it on the strip you just made so that the bottom of this strip that you're applying ends on 3 1/4 inches. So that'll tell you how much to overlap it. So 3 1/4 is right there and I'm going to overlap it right there. So now you don't need the ruler. Take this up, flip it over, take your other 5 1/4 inch strip and overlap it just like that and cover up the rest of the sticky side. There you go. So the whole width of this duct tape right here, the piece that you just made, will be 3 1/4 inches, and that's exactly what you want. So the next thing you're going to do is, after you have your rectangle done, you're going to take two 5 1/4 inch strips of duct tape and stick them together, just like that. Lay that down on the bottom of the rectangle here, just like that. Make sure it's lined up. Take yet another 5 1/4 inch strip and stick half of it on the piece you just laid down and half of it on the surface that you're working on, just like that. Flip the whole thing over and make sure it's lined up. Sometimes it might shift on you when you're flipping it over. And take the rest of the side and peel it back around like that. So flip it back around. So now we've taped up the bottom here, we're going to have to tape up the sides. So you're going to take two small pieces of duct tape. It really doesn't matter how big they are as long as they can wrap around the side here. So put that on one side, flip it over, peel it back around like that. Come back to the beginning here, take another small piece of duct tape, half it on this side, half of it on the other side, flip it over and peel it back around. So now you have your rectangle and you've pretty much put a little pouch on it. If that's what you got, you're doing well so far. Okay, your next step is to actually take a few steps back and you're going to make an exact duplicate of the rectangle you made earlier. The same one as this piece in the back here. Now make sure it's the same dimensions as the one you cut out earlier. It should be 3 1/4 inches wide and 5 1/4 inches long. So we're going to, once you get it, make sure do any trimming to make sure they're exact, and you're going to put it down on top of the piece just like that. Now take another 5 1/4 inch strip and put half of it on that piece you just laid down, half of it on the surface. Flip the whole thing over, make sure it didn't shift, and peel the whole thing around the back just like that. Okay, a little bit there. I'll do a little trimming here. You might need to do a little trimming just if you're not putting it on exact. That'll be okay. Now since we've sealed up the bottom here, we need to seal up the sides, so we're going to take two pieces of duct tape. Since the width here is 3 1/4 inches long, we're going to cut out two pieces of duct tape that are that long and put about half of it on the one side here and half of it on the surface. Flip it around, tape it up on the back. Come to the other side here, take another 3 1/4 inch strip like that. Put half of it on project, half of it on the surface, and flip it around just like that. Okay, so now you've got a little pouch with a separator inside. That's exactly what you're looking for, and now we're going to make the flip lid. That's next. So now we're going to work on the flap that's going to go over the top of the wallet and keep it closed. The first thing that you're going to do is cut out 5 4¼ inch strips, and I know that 4¼ inches is a little bit smaller than our pouch here that we made, which was 5¼ inches long, but you'll see why we're making it a little bit shorter when we keep going here. So the first thing you're going to do is take one of your 4¼ inch strips and stick it over top of another one, just like this. And what we're going to doing is making another rectangle that is exactly the same width as the pouch we made earlier. So the width is 3¼ inches, so we're going to use this as our template. We're going to line this one up here at the top here, take another 4½ inch strip, excuse me, and apply here so that the bottom's on the bottom of the pouch, and that'll give you how much to overlap it, just like that. Make sure it's even, it's looking good. Flip it over a little bit, take another 4½ inch strip and stick it down just like that. Okay. Now what you're going to do is take your 5th 4½ inch strip and lay it down just like that. What you're going to do is take the rectangle you just made and line it up so that half of it is going to get stuck down to the back here, and half of it isn't going to. Just like that. Then you're going to take your pouch, lay it over top, line it up here on the top here, just like that, and peel it back around, just like that. And there you go, that's the lid for your pouch, just like that. You'll notice that this part right here is open, and I'll show you what you can use that for in a second if you choose to utilize that part. So there is your skateboarding wallet. You can put all kinds of stuff in it, cash, credit cards, and you can close it up just to make sure it stays closed. And since you left this part open over here, if you want, you can cut a little hole in this piece, put like a ring on it and a carabiner, and you can clip this to your belt or like a pant loop, and you can just carry it around with you like that. Just make sure that this flap does stay closed so you don't lose anything, and you guys can have a lot of fun with that. So there's your skateboarding wallet, and have fun making it. Enjoy.